Well, hello there, Taff here. Sorry about the mess. But since I've been doing this now for almost 3 years, according to this, when I uploaded the video, so I thought, hey, why not just make another video of this? Just flex out my manga collection. Now, for those who doesn't know, I did a video before just showing what a manga collection I had before. And I did tell them how I got them and there's little funny little stories about them. So now I'm gonna continue it, but at first, let's just say this. When I come to manga collection, some people might just collect one entire series, some might collect all the series. For me, I'm one of those guys who just collect the first volume of each series. Unless it's a very short series, or it's basically just gonna be the first volume, because I think that I would like to have the preview of it, so I can read up on somewhere else later on. But enough of that, let's go to the other video. So let's just recap, a quick recap what I did on the previous video. I talked about Berserk. You probably know this from the other videos. I've been talking about Berserk. Dragon Ball, the Viz collection, 3-in-1. Same goes for Rurouni Kenshin. We have Fist of the North Star, Raging Comics, the Master Edition, which is now outdated. We have the JoJo Bizarre Adventure from, Shonen Jump? Yes, Shonen Jump Advance. So we have that. We have then Bleach, also on 3-in-1, but let's short and just have the pages, nothing extra or something at all. We have Death Note. We have Vagabond. We have Natsuki of the Valley of the Wind. Good read. Of course, everyone is a good read, or I got it from very cheap. And of course, we got Akira. And there the video stops, so you see there's a lot of mangas I got here. But now let's go to the real shit stopper. Let's go to the new content and not just recap this. But right, let's. I'm going through order for when I got them, because this time I do remember thoroughly when I got them. But first of all, let's talk about Ghost in the Shell. Now this one is an entire series of the first, not the sequels, just the first entire series in this. Now I was surprised that this manga was quite comical. I did mention this in a review. Now this is somewhat, as you can see here, it's mature content. I will talk about that a little later, but I did get this one first when I discovered that in my country there was a bookshop where you could buy this kind of stuff. Of course, I was excited, so the first thing I bought was this one, and according to this was almost, what do you say, 300 Swedish kroners. I'd spoil the country right now, but hey. Anyway, this is I think it's, no, I believe this is a good print, because it does have plenty of color pictures, plenty of stock images with just black and white. And I did kind of enjoy Ghost in the Shell and manga, basically. And I did thoroughly use this when I'm going to review it, because I need to really look back. And what do we got here? We got the Akira. Yeah, Akira, like recommendation. I just got one of them right here, but now the entire thing here is a mess. So oh wait, here it is. Here. So basically, is this the same company? I haven't checked it. But anyway, I got this one. It was super great. This was right about the time before the announcement of Ghost in the Shell. So it was sort of some excuse just to see this, because I needed to do a research. Because during the time, if you don't know, there was kind of quite a controversy about the regarding main character. All I'm about to say is that people didn't do research about it. They didn't go through it. They just thought that a Japanese character was an ethnic Japanese, not some unknown presence at all. And yeah, this reminds me of one other thing. I'm gonna just continue about this. Remember the PSA of some comedian did when I talked about how bad the new Ghost in the Shell was with its ethnics? You know, the ethnic that didn't exist at all. They basically had a store where like little girl went to the bookstore, basically looked around at all the magazines, like, yeah, I don't like this American version, I don't like that Wonder Woman, but then she saw Ghost in the Shell, like, oh hey, I like this. Now, the problem here is that this thing isn't for little children, as I said before, mature content. So basically, what they did in the video was so nifty. All they did was putting the thumb on that. So they people, I mean, it's just so stupid. Because everyone who bought this, who will look at this cover, will notice this thing. And basically in the video, she was totally alright. Like, I don't know, which page was it? I'm just gonna... Oh yeah, here we have it. This page, she suddenly like opened up, said, "Hey, look, she's like a Japanese character. I think she's a Japanese." Of course, people only thought that because they haven't understood Ghost in the Shell at all. This character can be anything I want. She even can be a guy. Like, Jesus. And it is a funny thing that, in sort of way, this thing that they're promoting this kind of thing, like, little children can go and read this. Yeah, the same thing that has, like, brutal execution, brutal, like, murder, and terrorism, and some philosophical question. Yeah, so, basically, what this people say is that these following things are okay for little children to read. Well, enough about that. Let's get to the more funny. Let's get more on blackjack. Alright, so this was another thing I went to the store and bought. I just finished seeing some blackjack reviews. I've been seeing blackjack movies even. And I thought, hey, I might as well read the original. And the original is quite more brutal than I thought it would be. But, I mean, and it is beside like this kind of cover. I mean, I have a mixed feeling about this. It's both great, but also wrong. I mean, the wrong part is that we don't hardly can recognize if the manga, because in the manga we have blackjack face, but in this part we have sort of like an opening here that we can see some content, and it feels like we're having an operation of some sort. Yeah, if you even touch this part, you can see that the layers before the comic book size and the insides are like in different materials, so it's kind of nifty. I mean, I applaud it. So this was the second one I got in the bookstore, and this was the time when I bought in the bookstore one at a time because I was unsure about the prices. Yeah, because right now, as I'm gonna mention this later on, that the prices have been going upwards. But later, I didn't start to buy two for two. So there was One Piece, the first volume, and One Punch Man, the first volume. Get is the one P together. But anyway, so again, this is Shonen Jump, not Advanced this time. And it has some commercial, and it still have all the volumes of the original. And it is a kind of quite of interesting read, because when you're seeing One Piece as right now, you really do have to have the original, the first volume at the hand, just to see how it started and how it just evolved. And then we have this picture. This guy would be the most famous mangaka ever in the modern time. Anyway, but maybe this one is even more popular right now. One Punch Man, and no, just have One Punch Man at all. Oh, fuck! One of the mangas is going off. I'm trying to escape, so I now flipped it off. So let's see. It's basically One Punch Man. It has all the great stuff. It has the warning that stop reading from the wrong way. I mean, some of these pages are not very creative when doing this. But it do always have the character saying stop, this is supposed to how to read it. Always appreciate it when they're doing these things. And wait a minute, is that Saitama beating fucking Devilman? Someone who looks like it. I mean, the wings and the color scheme are right, but not the horns. And yeah, this is a very decent, just basically just the first volume, just as the rest of them. Like, there's no real like difference. It's just basically the story in one page, nothing more added in. So continuing with going to the store. Alright, right now, also begin to expand my collection by going through some girly stuff, I think. I won't call this really girly stuff, but it does have a protagonist that is a girl, at least. So we have Nishinjo, My Ordinary Life, Volume 1. And again, this is basically the same. It's like the rest of it, just manga panel. If they don't have a stop. Wait. They don't have a stop? I haven't hardly paid notice of this, but did they? Oh, they also have a color page. So this is basically like a standard version, but still, if you haven't seen Nishinjo, I believe that the anime is much better. Even if anime doesn't cover an entire of manga. Still, I would recommend and say that you can buy this thing, because it will help out, and Nishinjo is just awesome. No matter how I look at it, it's your guy's fault I'm not popular. Well, I say on the contrary, she's quite popular before. Basically, if you haven't read Watamote, basically I won't read the entire Japanese title. But this is basically another standard read. Does it have a stop? Please say, no, oh yeah, it have. No, it doesn't have. I thought, wait, what is that? Did it? Even casket. No, it doesn't have it. So, but it has translation pages, which some mangas does have. Which I think sometimes it's good, sometimes no, it's good, because here's some slangs you need to know. I just wonder why you bought this. I mean, when you bought this, it's not very special, I will say. I mean, it's just a story again. I don't sometimes buy this just because of the story itself, but I would say I would really at least desire something more than just, I don't know, black pages. So maybe have a little more color pages around, because you can see it's entirely black and white. Alright, but let's now continue with the 200th edition. JoJo Bizarre Adventure Part 1, Phantom Blood. It's not Stardust Crusader anymore. And this is great, man. I mean, they have even a worked art style. It's now much more thicker, and the pages are much more high. I mean, see, in comparison with the old one, which is just a pocket size, this is how large it is. Much larger. So now's the question. See, does this does not have a coloring page as before, but this one does. And of course, this one costs much more than the previous one. If this one costs like, I don't know, $10, this costs $20. Now, maybe it's because they want to have the bigger page or something, but I think at least, this is what's kind of wrong with mangas these days, is that it has a lot of economy. That we really have to take care of it. So, but let's go through another one that I got. But anyway, let's talk about the Queen Esmeraldas. Now this is a quite heavy book. The same as the JoJo Bizarre Adventure is that these differences is that they have some more of a hard cover to it, making it more like a books than just comic books. Get it? Da 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 da. But anyway, the first thing I want to comment on is that when I look at the back, just when I'm watching the recording, is that it has like praise from Leiji Matsuma, like the author itself, like Matsuma said it's a big source for inspiration. He chose Captain Harlock. What's the main cartoon influence one? Come on. Like, I don't know why they added it in, because they say that, yeah, people are interesting. But then you have like one guy's calling IO9, and then we have Pitchfork. Like, who are these people? I know Daft Punk, but who are these two? Maybe they're famous, but I don't know. It's like, but why would they have praise to Leiji? Are they like not like they don't think that people don't want this? Like, people when they automatically just read like, oh, I don't know, I don't like this. But just look at the page, and what does this say? Daft Punk. It's like something like, oh, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, like, it's the coolest shit and the gayest shit. Sign, Mom. Like, why would you even have that? Oh, let's see. Does this have a coloring page? No, it does not have a coloring page. Which is kind of disappointing, because this cost almost, or no, it cost more than this. Why would it cost more? You don't have much thing else to show. It's almost half of the Queen Esmeralda book, at least. Oh, it's colored actually. But anyway, let's screw this thing. But I did bought this book because I didn't get a Captain Harlock yet. But hey, this is a bittersweet. Even though the price, I could say another less. And then finally we got something, not from the bookstore, not the same books I've been mentioning, but from the net, on my own country. It's the one and only Devilman, the classic collection. You already seen a video I've been talking about it, and another video I've been mentioning it. But now, this is from the Seven Seas Entertainment, directly from that, from a distribution. It does tell a lot about Devilman, but what do I think about this? Well, it does have coloring pages, and even have some enchanted pages that some scanner lives cannot show. Oh, how do I know this? Maybe Twitter or something. And it does have even a warning, but not the traditional thing, stop. Just, here's the reading description. And what do I think about the Devilman manga itself? Well, I will mention that thing later on. So anyway, now let's have a quick... Now let's have a quick recap, because I did mention about Devilman in previous video, I really wish. But thank God that dream came true. Now I'm just waiting for Ashita no Joe and Captain Harlock, which will probably come. Anyway, recap. We got this one, we got this one, we got this one, got this one, got this one, we got this one, we got this one, we got this one, we got this one. We already bought this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 2021. Anyway, this is Taff, and I hope you see you next time in volume 3 with more mangas. And I see you guys later, and take your weekly dose as always. Don't count on that. Just call in the master collection full color. Does it have? Yes, it has full color. Guaranteed.